Poverty in Guatemala looks different. Slums feel different. In Guatemala City, there is a zone, an area, it's called Zone 18. It is infamous. 600,000 people are wedged in there. It's hilly and its streets bend and twist. If you live in Zone 18, you don't tell other people from the other 21 zones of Guatemala City that you come from Zone 18. There is a stigma. It's a stigma they've earned. It's the gangs and the guns, the endless killings that have earned them the stigma. When I first went to Zone 18, the police had fled. The army patrolled. Two main gangs, MS-13 and Barrio 18, they're there. And these cartels rule by controlling hundreds of smaller gangs. And so a gang might be 25 young guys, as young as 12 years old. And to prove themselves, they have to kill somebody. It's that brutal and that simple. If you're a girl and you date one of the gang guys, that's it. Only one way you can escape the gang, and that's a bullet in you. Our global partners there tell me of a young boy whose brothers were in their program, but they tell of the other brother who was told to join the gang and shoot someone, and if he didn't do it, they would rape his sister. He hung himself. Zone 18 is filled with people living on a few dollars a day, but while there might not be the raw sewage in the streets that we see in East Africa or in India, there is intense violence. But the gospel is always light into darkness. And Christians and followers of Christ always have gone where there is darkness to bring light. And so we go. But what is even more amazing, we have Christian friends who don't so much go, but they live and they stay and they minister every single day to the children and families of those trapped in Zone 18. Jose grew up in Zone 18. He can show you the bullet holes in the house that he started. But because of his bold faith, people referred to him as Jesus, Jesus. And the gangs left him alone. So he began to help children. And he knew that poverty is not a lack of money, but a lack of options. And he knew what the Jesuits had been practicing for decades. Give me a child until they are 7, and I'll give you the man. And if Jose and his volunteers could reach children with Christ and with the gospel, they would stay out of gangs. Jose introduced us to Pastor Alex, who runs an organization called Go Guatemala. And Go Guatemala is about Guatemala Christians getting going and going to reach their own kids with love and hope in Christ. So day in, day out, they're there. Tutoring programs, nutritional programs, food and water distribution, digital schools for parents. Jose is our link, and he navigates us around the crazy of Guatemala City and Zone 18, and he supports and links with Go Guatemala and other Christian-led non-profits that we help. He has learned to drive the crazy streets and traffic of Guatemala City while drinking coffee in one hand and some pollo campero in the other hand, and talking on his cell phone with his other hand. Like all of when I grew up, we find local Christians doing gospel work, and we partner with them. They lead, they're there, they make the decisions, they run their own non-profit mission organization, and we bring 3 things: friendship, funding, and helping them network. Friendship sees us go and walk the streets with them, learning about their city, their mission, their hopes and dreams. Funding, we give to help them do what they do. We provide differing levels of funding, and they determine what they spend it on. Networking, sadly and unjustly, the Western Christian can still open doors, sometimes closed, to those living in the developing world. It's an injustice that we want to see changed, but until then, we will act as wise as serpents. So thank you. Thank you for standing with some amazing Guatemalans and help them empower and care for kids and their families trapped in Zone 18, and through Christ and His people, see fear replaced with hope and love.